Greetings. I was saying in my last video that I've never used a cream foundation product for the summer. The reason I haven't is I figured it would smother my face, it would slide off, it would just be a disaster. But I tried a cream foundation for a couple of days, and lo and behold, I liked it. My skin looked better as the day went on. I had none of the problems I anticipated, and I felt like it actually looked better than when I was just using the sunscreen and the powder. So 2 thumbs up for my experiment with the cream foundation. So I went ahead and filmed it. Some people have been asking me about skincare, and so I went ahead and did a little skincare kind of preamble to it as well. So without further ado, here it is. Okay, blank slate. That's what we start with. This morning I gave myself a good steam. I don't do that every day. I do it about 2-3 times a week. In the summer, dead of winter, it goes down to once a week. My favorite product for that is the Shea Terra Argan and Olive Gommage. I put that on my face, put a towel over my head, hang over a steaming pot of hot water. I usually make a tea of the hot water. This morning I used kind of a berry tea. And for 5 minutes I sit and let it steam. The next part is not for the faint of heart. I take baking soda, mix it in water in my hand, put it all over, let it sit about a minute. Then I grab my Clarisonic and go over it with that. Yeah, that's a really intensive treatment. But the reason I do that is the steaming opens up the pores and the baking soda is going to close it back up. After that treatment, I use the Shea Terra Rose Water Ester C Collagen Regeneration Facial Mist as a toner. Lastly, I grab a serum. This morning I grabbed the Youth Infusion High Potency Serum, put it on my face, and the reason I did that is I wanted to use my Truth in Aging Ultra Renew Light and Sonic Therapy. The sonic therapy needs something slippy, something wet to make it work. That actually you make contact with your skin and pull slowly up. And then there are 3 light therapies: red therapy for wrinkles, blue therapy for acne, and I do have 2 spots right now because I've been using some product in my Makeout 2013, and a green one for hyperpigmentation, and yes, I've got the evil age spots. Normally the way I use this is I use one setting every day. That way I don't have to sit for a long period of time, and I just kind of introduce it into my morning routine. And so one day I do the sonic, another day I do the wrinkle light, another day I do the blue light for the acne, another day I use the green light. I'll change that sometimes, like right now, because I'm having these kind of mild breakouts here and here. I might use the blue light therapy a little bit more, but that's basically how I use it. The next part of my routine is sun protection. This is the Suntegrity 5-in-1 Natural Moisturizing Face Sunscreen. This is a water-based product. It does have to be preserved. It has a mild preservative in it. The preservative is an irritant. It isn't bothering me, but I wish it weren't in there. And it's essentially the Cosmosil CQ. It's going under a different name, but that's what it is. And I prefer it not be in my products, and it's creeping into a lot of them. And I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is 2 pumps of Suntegrity on my hand. Dot it on. Okay, 5-in-1 Suntegrity sunscreen on. It is pricey, again, $45. So yeah, I definitely look for sales. And now I really need to let this sit for 10 minutes, so I'm going to go have a cup of coffee. Well, silly me, I was filming and talking away and forgot to put the camera on, so I'm going to walk you through what I did. The first thing I did is I made a tea for my sponge. What I do with that is I take a sprig of rosemary from the garden, I put in some hot water, I put in some honey, and a little bit of oil, argan oil, marula oil, really doesn't matter. Drop that in, let it seep for 10-15 minutes until it cools down at least. I use that for my sponge. I use this dupe, Beauty Blender dupe, but I am of the opinion that the Beauty Blender itself is well worth it. I didn't bring it down because I figured I wasn't going to be using cream foundation, and then, well, I did. The other thing I put on under the eye area is Midas. There is Midas. This is a concealer corrector from the All Natural Face. So that is around the eye. Over that, I put on the vegan eyeshadow primer. This is not the oily lid one because I don't need it. So I first take Midas all over, and then I take the primer all over in these same places. I know, but it works. It's not going to cake because underneath it all I have my Mukti eye balm. I really enjoy it. Still using it. Kept it in the refrigerator. The other thing I love is the Shea Terra Argan and green coffee around eye serum. So one of those two I can use and it works. The next thing I did is I took Tan Pale. This is an all-natural face cream foundation. I really enjoy these and the price point is so good. And Tan Warmer. Now, do you need to use Tan Pale and Tan Warmer, or do you need to use two shades and blend it? No, you could just get what's called Tan Warm, and that would be the exact color. But that's no fun. I like to mix and match. I also used my handy dandy Starbucks stopper. I love these things. They're designed so that the coffee doesn't splash out, but look at this, perfect size for picking up pigments, and perfect, especially if you're doing an eye look. You don't need great globs of pigments, you need just about that much. And then on the other side is this, and I use this, you can see it, to lift the cream out of the pot. I sanitize the little stopper, and that way I can keep my pots clean. What I did is take some of the Tan Pale, some of the Tan Warmer, mix them on the back of my hand, mix, 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 mix. Look at the color, go, do I want it darker, do I want it lighter? Add one or the other of these depending on what I want. And then I dot it onto my face. I take my sponge has been bathed in that tea. It smells like rosemary, so nice going on. My skin loves rosemary. I tap it all in. And then I'm going to give it a break. I need to let all of this sit and rest before I do anything else. So that kind of catches you up on what I've done. So sorry I was such a nerd and kept talking to the camera but didn't film it. I'm also going to put on, because I hate not being able to see my lips, this is 1889 Beauty Lip Tint. The Natural Beauty Box, I thought I was done with that subscription. They sent me 2 more, and these were really different than anything I'd gotten from the Natural Beauty Box. They were indie samples, which I loved, from Etsy. There were soaps, there were candles, all sorts of things. This one is from Sycamore Boutique on Etsy. There it is, and I'm going to put a little of this on the lips. Okay, that's it for installment 2. This is your second intermission. I'll be right back. This next part I should have done before the second intermission, but I didn't, and it's not fatal. I'm going to take Tan Pale, that's that lightest shade, get out my handy dandy Starbucks stopper. I'm going to put a good hunk of that on the back of my hand because I like 1980s concealer. I like it when the under eyes walk into the room first. So that's what I'm going for here. Just warming it up on the back of my hand. You can see I got a lot of it on there. To say that this is more than you would need, look, still tons left, is an understatement. I find that if I don't put a lot of this on, it wears off as the day goes on. But if I put a good deal of it on, it actually holds up and it doesn't cake if I use it over the oil-based products. And it just works for the rest of the day. Makes me a happy camper. I don't often use my mineral makeups thing. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this. But I went ahead and I put Tan Warmest. Just have a sample of that right now. But I'm thinking I'll get a big one. Tan Warmest there. This is actually my shade. This is Tan Warm. And the way these all-natural face products work is you get like a color range. Like I have it in olive and I have it in a rose. But basically, Tan Warmest, Tan Warmer, which that was this cream product that I had. All of these come either in the cream or the mineral. So you just choose, do I want it in this or that, and you can combine. And then there is Tan Warm, which is actually my shade. And over here, don't even know if you can see it, but over there is a concealer called, I believe, checking, Ecru. So these are the mineral powders now that I will use. I'm going to start with contour, and I'm going to contour with Sedona Lace FB05. I have a ginormous forehead, so I like to do a V right here, and then I also have thinning hair, not unusual for somebody 54. And I ran out of my Truth in Aging Hair Vitality Complex, and I'm going to get some more of that stuff, even though it's expensive, because it does help the hair grow in there. There we go, contour done. Wow, it's all very dramatic at the moment. Sedona Lace 919, and I'm going to go into the Tan Warm. Don't want a lot of this, I just want to kind of blend out that contouring. Now, if you were using a mineral foundation that has bismuth oxychloride, first of all, bismuth oxychloride is an irritant. So those of you who have itchy issues with bismuth oxychloride, that's probably the culprit. I don't want to put a lot of this on because I've already got a light kind of cream foundation on. I've already got my 5-in-1 sunscreen on. I don't want like tons and tons of product on my face. So my trick here is light layers, although I did really kind of do up the contour. Just to show you, that is how much product is left. So a lot of it I haven't even used, which means a lot of this product is not on my face. When I say light dusting, it's a pretty light dusting. The last brush I'm going to use is the Sedona Lace 602. I'm going to take that and put it into that ecru. And bam, over the evil age spots and on the nose. Lightens that area up, and just a little bit more sun protection. This is where I'm going to get spots from age spots. Don't want any more, don't want the ones that are there to come out. That is my routine using the All Natural Face Cream Foundation in the summer. Who knew? Didn't think it would work, but it did. Okay, when next you see me, I'll have on the rest of my makeup. That's it from this installment from the Beach Hut. Sorry about the camera debacle. There I was, talking away, talk. At any rate, I'm liking the All Natural Face Cream Foundation. It also comes in a liquid formulation, which I don't care for. However, love the All Natural Face Cream Foundation. Love the mineral powder version of it. Love all the different colors it comes in, and have been enjoying it. I hope this was helpful to some of you. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're thinking. And yeah, make it a great, great day. Bye.